Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de las Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I am your host, as always, ReyDeMascaras, and today I think the tagline for the show is going to be, the weather is cold but the mask talk is hot. It is cold out there. It is actually snowing up here in Minnesota. Ridiculous. I am so over it. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for, I'm ready for some thunderstorms, man. If we're going to get rain and, precipitation, I at least want some thunder to go along with it. So, with that said, not a whole lot of news to talk about. Last week was Time Bomb Pro down in Minneapolis for me. Great show. Should be up on YouTube here relatively shortly. Definitely check it out. And not a whole lot to talk about on the Lucha front. Aside from Chris Hero's mixtape last Sunday night. If you haven't checked it out, get on YouTube, check it out. We had some great lucha action of all kinds. We had, the technical stuff. We had the high-flying insanity. Something for everyone. And not even just the lucha front, but just wrestling as a whole. There was a lot of great things on that show. Highly recommended. Really excited to watch Time Bomb back. It was a fantastic show. If you follow me on Twitter, Jossie and me go a little bit back and forth regarding masks. Backstory on that, he wrestled Mentalo a few months ago, and he went on a tirade on Twitter about masks. So, as the king of masks, I could not stand for that. So, I've brought with me a Ray Horace semi-pro mask, and I make a point to have it on whenever Jaw comes out. So, kind of a funny story regarding that. The first time I did that was back at Time Bomb about a month ago, and I wore it. It was kind of funny. We caught up after the show, and he's like, "I saw you. I just wasn't going to give you the satisfaction of it," type of thing. So, I've done it, but the funny thing, and I talked about this on Twitter a little bit, was the people behind me who were there to support Free Range Kara really got a kick out of it. And during the intermission, they were talking to me about it. And afterwards, I kind of hung my head on the way home because I thought to myself, I've been looking to maybe sell a couple of them at the local shows, and all I did was tell them where I bought it. I didn't even think to say, it's for sale if you're interested, type of thing. So, just kind of a funny anecdote there. But, talking today here, I wanted to talk about, oddly enough, a replica, but something I got a long time ago when I first started getting into masks that I wanted. I wanted to make sure I had one in my collection, and that is Psicosis. Growing up, my first exposure to Lucha Libre was, Rey Mysterio Jr. in 1996. So, obviously, he faced Psicosis quite a few times down there. I shouldn't say down there, but back then. And obviously, as time went on, I started to really get into Psicosis, not just as an opponent for Rey, but, the aesthetic, the look he had, and catching up on a lot of the things when the internet age popped up. And I was able to go back, watch a lot of those classic matches that he had, not just with Rey, but with El Hijo del Santo, and catching up on the history that he did outside of the Rey Jr. matches, which are absolutely timeless. I've got a few DVDs that it's nothing but Rey and Psicosis matches, and it's amazing, the chemistry those two had. So this one here, way back when it popped up, the orange, black and white, the classic Psicosis look, I had to pull the trigger on this one. Absolutely amazing mask. I wish I'd have thought of it now, but I've done it a couple of times where I've worn this along with one of my wife's wigs, and it really does look like 1990s era Psicosis. Obviously, I do not have the hair that Psicosis had or the mask had. I don't know. I've seen the man with long hair, but I've also seen a very huge volume of that hair that made me question whether it was tied in with the mask or if it was all natural. And that kind of goes along with Jushin Thunder Liger as well. I know toward the end of his career, he was basically sewing the hair in with the mask. But just an incredible style of mask, and one that I wanted to make sure I definitely had in my collection, whether it was as this one is a replica or something ring worn. I'm obviously, on the hunt for something ring worn, but not it's not a huge priority at the moment anyway. It'll happen. I have confidence. So I'll go ahead and put this one on and we can see how it looks. And we're back. So being a replica, being a semi-pro, I feel I say this with everyone that I have, but very, very easy, almost a loose fit. I think this would fit probably a little bit tighter even if I threaded the beard through. So, but either way, I mean, something I could wear very, very comfortably over the course of the day, or, a 20-minute, a 20-minute time period. The interesting thing is the top here does have the elastic, while the back is actually secured with ties. So I've kind of become accustomed to a lot of the masks that I wear having, the elastic. I have very few, I shouldn't say very few, but a lot of the more recent ones that I have do have the closed back and, stretchable material. But either way, it's a very cool mask, very comfortable to wear. Put a little bit of hair on it on the top here, and I could probably easily pass for 1990s era Psicosis. Plus beard, obviously. So we'll go ahead and close the show out here in just a moment. And we are back. So that is this one. That is this mask for the week here. Again, just an amazing piece. One of my favorites. It is one that rests over by around the corner here on the Ray Jr. shelf, just because the battles that those two had, absolutely legendary. Whether it was beginning in AAA over to ECW and then into WCW and points beyond. Everywhere those two have competed, they've wrestled against each other. Japan, I know they were part of the Wrestling Peace Festival for Antonio Inoki shortly before their WCW debuts. So just a mask that is absolutely synonymous with legendary Lucha Libre right here. And before I sign off here, just a special shout out. We know the man behind the mask is working through some physical issues. So all the best thoughts to Psicosis going forward. We hope for a full recovery and many, many years to come. So that is this week's show. As always, thank you for joining me. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what's working. Let me know what's not working. So once again, a little bit shorter of an episode than we're used to, but we're rolling along. Once the weather heats up, I think the rest of it will heat up, and who knows, we might have some good stuff coming here in the next week or two. A little bit of a hint. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to jinx myself, but it's looking good. We might have something really, really cool on our hands. So that is going to be it for this week. As always, thank you all for your support, and we'll see everyone next week. Live, laugh, love, and as always, Lucha Libre. We'll see ya.